Yo guys, Crescent here. Welcome to another build video. Today I'll be showing you my solo Magicka Sorcerer build. This build is really offensive. I would say it's way more offensive than the typical meta build which uses like one piece Domi House, either Ember Plasm or Shackle Breaker on the body, front bar maybe a Master Destro staff, or back bar you'll be using a Leech or Wizard Repose. That is a typical Magicka Sorc build, which is really powerful, don't get me wrong, but my build is more offensive than that build. You deal more damage because you have higher crit, and you have basically more output damage that from the sets we'll be using. However, we lose a little bit of max stats compared to those setup, just a little bit, not a lot, and our sustain is slightly weaker on this build, but it's still really solid. I'll just show you. I'll just go into the sets and then you can see. Alright, so there are 3 different monster helms you can use. The first one is Bloodspawn. Just make sure you are using, I prefer Bloodspawn. I think Bloodspawn is the best because there are not many ways for you to gain quick ultimate as a Magicka Sorcerer. So Bloodspawn is really powerful because it does proc even if you're taking damage through shields. So I highly recommend Bloodspawn. Make sure you're using on the big piece head Infuse and a small piece either Impenetrable or Well Fitted, really up to you. Both maximum Magicka Glyph. I have a divine trait here, but it doesn't really matter that much because I'm using the Mage Mundus stone, which still gives us maximum Magicka anyways. Alright, the second monster helm that I could recommend you to use is Infernal Guardian. Infernal Guardian is a really powerful set because you will be shooting up yourself a lot, and this set will just proc very often. The one piece is a maximum Magicka Glyph, Magicka piece as well, so it's really nice for sorcerers. You can reach about 41k also max Magicka with Infernal Guardian, which is super awesome. Like usual, just make sure you have big on the head Infuse, and on a small piece you want Impenetrable, on the shoulder you want Impenetrable, medium and heavy as well. And the third set, I think it's quite powerful and underrated, is Slime Crawl. So Slime Crawl gives you minor berserk, so it increases all your damage output done by 8%, which is super awesome. Spell crit is decent as well. The one piece is not the best. I prefer maximum Magicka, but spell crit is decent as well. With this Slime Crawl set, your crit is gonna go more than 50%, which is insane. Yeah, just make sure it's heavy, one piece heavy and one piece medium. Okay, so those are the monster helm that I totally recommend you to use. There's one last option you could use if you want really high max stats. You can use one piece Domi House with maybe another piece of Infernal Guardian, so you have 2 times maximum Magicka and 1 times maximum stamina. That is really powerful as well. So it's really up to you which one you want to use, but I slightly prefer Bloodspawn over the others, but all the others are viable as well, are really nice as well. Okay, so the second set we'll be using is Chaludron Legacy set. I know this set is a really famous set for this patch. I use it on a lot of my builds, but I'll show you later in the rotation how I make sure that because this set, the proc of this set is dodgeable. I'll show you how to make sure you let your opponent receive the damage of this set basically, and how you proc it and stuff like that. So basically this set will give you 2 spell crit and 1 spell damage. Not the best for sorcerer, but it's decent. You have a lot of crit with this build like I mentioned earlier, and when you do a crit damage with your single target Magicka ability that we'll be using is the Force Pulse, so you have very high chance to proc this set, so it's really easy to proc. We'll be using, for me, you can use it on the jewelry as well, but I'm using 4 pieces on the body, so big pieces, body and the legs Infuse, maximum Magicka Glyph, and the small pieces I prefer Impenetrable. If you like a different trait, you can use it, it's not a big deal. Make sure that everything is maximum Magicka Glyph. So we'll be using it on the front bar, which we'll be using it on a sharpened Inferno Staff. Make sure it's sharpened, really important. And my preferred glyph is shock damage because you want to proc concussion. The main reason why this build is called status Affector is because we have so many things to proc status effects. So the first thing you can proc status effect is through Chaludron set. So you every time you do a crit damage, you launch Fire Ice or Disease Ball at your enemy and you apply status effect on them. That's the first thing. The second thing you can proc concussion status effect is by using Charge Weapon enchantment. So you do shock damage, you have a chance to proc concussion, another status effect. And the third way to proc status effect is through the skill we will be using Force Pulse or Crushing Shock. you deal flame, frost or shock damage, you have another chance to proc status effect as well. So this build is just really nice to put pressure on your enemies. So many status effect, you just debuff them until there's no end. That's why I really like this build. Okay, and the last set we'll be using is Leech. So it's on our back bar. You can just switch it around. You can use body pieces Leech as well. Children jewelry, doesn't really matter that much. What is important is I'll be using one piece belt, impenetrable maximum Magicka glyph, and 3 jewelry. I prefer to use 2 cost reduction and 1 Magicka recovery. You could definitely use 2 Magicka recovery, 1 cost reduction. That could totally work as well. It's really up to you. Okay, so this is where we get our sustain from Leech set and all the reduction and Magicka recovery enchantments. And on the back bar, we'll be using infused Leech stuff with a weapon damage and spell damage enchantment. So we always do light attack on the back bar, switch to the front bar, throw everything, you will do a lot of damage with it. Okay, yeah, I think that's it for the setup. It's quite simple, I would say, but it's really powerful. The second thing I need to show you is the stat sheet and the tooltips. So I need to buff up now. I'll just use a potion really quickly, and then I'll do light attack on the back bar. So the spell damage is about 25k, 24.4k. Spell crit is insanely high, 49%, sorry. Max Magicka is decent, close to 40k. Max health is about 22k in Citadel. Stamina is 14k plus. Magicka recovery is 16k without Leech, and Magicka is 16k without Leech, and stamina is about 800. With Leech it will go up to 3k plus, this Magicka recovery easily. What is important is we have really high spell penetration on this build. So with this 10k spell penetration, Children will hit really hard. Your ultis will hit really hard, especially if they crit. Yes, our spell damage is only 2.4k, 2.5k, but with this penetration and the crit, the damage will be really insane. Okay, I'll show you the tooltip for the Crystal Frag. I hope it proc. It's not procking. Okay, it finally proc. The tooltip of Crystal Frag is 15k plus. Obviously, I'm using Bloodspawn now, so it's only 15k. Let's say if I'm using something like Dormy House or with Infernal Guardian, it will go up to 16k plus easily. With Infernal Guardian, it will go up more than 15k, close to 16k more or less. But with the Bloodspawn setup, it will go up to 15k only, 15k plus. Alright. Yeah, that's the two tips. I will show you the potions and poison before I forget them. So the only poison that I recommend you to use if you are feeling a bit stuffed with the Magicka recovery is this Drain Magicka poison. This is really good because it gives you about 476 Magicka recovery for 3.5 seconds, and it gives you minor breach as well. So it's really powerful. 6.4 second minor breach. You do even more damage with this poison. Resistance and apply debuff for enemy. This is such a nice poison. Highly recommend this even in CB campaign. In non-CB campaign, I will definitely be using this poison. Okay, the potions that you can use are a lot of potions because it really depends whether you are running any major sorcery buff, basically whether you are running Power Surge or not, this skill, Power Surge, or either some people prefer Degeneration. So if you're not running Degeneration or Power Surge, there are some potions that I totally recommend you to use. This Detect potion is really nice against all the Nightbleeds, gives you Stealth Detection, Major Sorcery and Magicka, really nice. Obviously your main potion that you want to use if you're not using any Power Surge is Spell Power, so it give you Major Prophecy, Major Sorcery, so crit and spell damage with Magicka recovery. This is really nice. Or if you are using Power Surge, you could definitely use Tri-Stat Potion, a lot more sustain, helps you with your Magicka and Stamina, both equally good. And this Immune to Knockback potion is really nice as well, gives you crit, Immune to Knockback, Magicka, so you can go in full damage. You won't get CC'd, which is really nice. Obviously, Invincible potions are good, especially if a lot of people are running, chasing you down. You can just pop this and run away. Yeah, I need to go through the Mundus stone really quickly. We are using obviously the Mage Mundus stone, so we increase our max Magicka, and we will be using I'm not a vampire. You can use vampire if you want, but I don't recommend it. But I recommend you to use tri-step foot, so we gain so we have the 14k plus maximum stamina. That is the minimum for me as a sorcerer, 14k. Yeah, that's for the potions and poisons. I'll go through the skills now. Skills are super important though, because we are not using a flame reach build, so we need to use rune cage. I'll just go through all the front bar is basically fixed. I won't change anything on the front bar, but on the back bar there's a flexible spot for you to change to your liking. The first skill is obviously Endless Fury. You execute Crystal Frag, your big burst. Basically when this proc, you want to throw it out, do a lot of damage. Obviously you want to always rune cage before throwing Crystal Frag, so it's reliable damage, because it's way too easy to dodge Crystal Fragments, and either to block or dodge it is way too easy. Crushing Shock is our main DPS, and is one of the skills that enable us to proc a lot of status effect, so that's why this build is called Status Affector. And we'll be using Hardened, one of our shields on the front bar. Rune Cage, our CC skill. You always want to line up Rune Cage with your ultimate before after you use your ultimate. You always want to Rune Cage, and you preferably, if you have your shut out, you want to throw the shut, and then so it will do a lot of damage in once. That's how I kill off people. And my preferred ultimate is Shooting Star. I find this ultimate just the best for this build. Don't use any other offensive ultimate. You could, in principle, if you think you really need to kill some Night Blades, you could definitely use SOS up. I think it's really nice as well, but I totally recommend you to use Shooting Star instead. This is the front bar. This is fixed for me. The back bar, there is one flex spot, which is the Power Surge. I'll just go through all the skill first. Curse, just to line up damage with your Rune Cage and Frag and your ultimate, so it's really important. And obviously you want to line it up with Chaliron as well if possible. Power Surge, this is the skill that I prefer to use, but there are different skills you can use, such as Mines, Daedric Minefield. This is a really powerful skill, especially for you to just snare some enemies, especially when you are 1v-Xing. And there's the second skill that you could totally use is Boundless Storm. So if you want to be a speedy Magicka Sorcerer, I totally prefer Boundless Storm. And then you, like I mentioned earlier, you can just use potions that gives you major sorcery, so that will be good enough. And Streak, I use Streak instead of Ball of Lightning, because I feel like when I'm playing in a group, especially in a small scale group or in a raid, I need to streak through people, I need to CC people in front of me, so I prefer Streak. Some people prefer Ball of Lightning, it's really up to you. Our second skill is Harness Magicka, so it's our back bar shield, and sorry, and a healing one is obviously our healing shield, and rest like champions is our healing ultimate. So this is the back bar. These are the skills. You could change this skill Power Surge to your liking. Sorry. Alright. So now I need to show you the combo. So how you play this build. It's just typical sorcerer build. First thing first, you want to buff up. You want to do curse on your enemy. You want to try to proc your Crystal Frag. Crystal Frag is up. Now Chaliron will proc. Usually Chaliron will proc, but if it doesn't proc, you want to do a Force Pulse to proc it. It's gonna proc really easily. Then if you have ultimate, you can throw ultimate into Rune Cage. I can't use Rune Cage on this guy, but you get what I mean. Rune Cage into your Crystal Frag, which procced earlier. So that is the combo you can use. So I'll show you it again. So like this curse, you proc your Chaliron. When Chaliron proc from the Force Pulse, if your frag is ready, you always want to just use the encase first. So Rune Cage, so you CC your enemy, then you throw your frag, and then into execute. So it's more or less the same with the ultimate. With the ultimate, you want to throw your ultimate into Rune Cage, into frag, and then into execute. That is the typical combo. Obviously, it is not so easy to proc everything if your enemy is cloaking, but if they are blocking, it's really easy to proc it, because Rune Cage can just take, it's not blockable, okay? Only against the Night Blades, I would say maybe Detection Potion will help a lot. So might want to pop Detection Potion beforehand. And always remember to do a light attack on the back bar to gain that 5 seconds extra damage. Within 5 seconds you want to do your burst. Always when you're shooting up on your back bar, do a light attack so you gain that infused weapon damage enchantment. Okay, so that is for the combos. Obviously that is the offensive way. If you are playing defense, you can always let's say there are a lot of people fighting you, you want to just try to put a curse while you're shooting up on somebody so you can focus that guy. And let's say a lot of people are just pounding on you, what you can do is you can dodge throw and then you face your enemy, you streak through them. So you CC multiple enemies, through 2, 3, 4 guys out in one row, you can CC them. So you have a lot of room to move away. Always remember to kite more a bit on a sorcerer, because that is one of my mistakes as well. I played too offensive on a sorcerer, but you are not a tank, remember that. So you always want to kite a lot and line of sight a lot. So that's why streak is really nice. Alright, let me go through the CP and then I can end this video. So we will be using 19 into Siphoner, 51 into Warlord, 3 into Sprinter, 75 into Arcanist, 15 Tenacity, 66 Tumbling, 11 Shadow Ward, 56 Elfborn. We have very high crit on this build, that's why I put more into Elfborn. 49 Elemental Expert, 24 Spell Erosion, 28 Shattering Blows, 72 Master at Arms, 11 Staff Expert, and 0 into all this, the Ritual Tree. 61 into Ironclad, 21 into Resistance, 23 into Thick Skin, 27 Hardy, 27 Elemental Defender, and 81 into Bastion. I know it's a lot into Bastion, but I just feel like we need higher shields. You can put 72 points into this, and then put some into maybe Thick Skin or Resistance or Ironclad. That's really up to you, but for me, I just like to get that 24% Bastion. Our shields with Bloodspawn is about 39k, so it's quite high as well. But if you are using something like a Dormy House, sorry, I will just go through it. Yeah, Dormy House plus another max stats set like Infernal Guardian, we have on the front bar 43k max Magicka, which gives us about 42k shields, which is 21k in Citadel. That's a lot. So it's really up to you how you want to set up your monster helm, but for me Bloodspawn is just the best, because Restore Ulti is just way too powerful, and you defensively you are so strong with Bloodspawn. Alright, that's about it for this video. Yeah, so make sure you throw this video a like, and make sure you subscribe to my channel for more upcoming ESO videos. I post it quite frequently, and yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in Citadel. Okay, bye bye.